I believe that Russian special KGB operation under the auspices of war criminal Putin is in progress. This is a kind of window dressing and smokescreen operation. So he wants to show to President Trump that talks are in progress, that he is ready to negotiate some kind of a very distant ceasefire peace deal or whatever, but he's not eager to cut any kind of deals. His main idea is to drag his feet and our feet into never-ending talks and to get more incremental gains on the ground.
Ukrainians, by the way, are going to be gathering in Kyiv for a second night of protests since the Russian invasion. That is about a change in the way that corruption is managed in Ukraine. I'm going to come to that in just a moment. Arseny Yatseniuk is here, the Prime Minister of Ukraine between 2014 and 2016. Arseny, welcome back to the programme.
Hello, John. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. First of all, Arseny, what value do you attach to these talks in Istanbul today?
Well, frankly, zero value. I believe that Russian special KGB operation under the auspices of war criminal Putin is in progress. This is a kind of window dressing and smokescreen operation. So he wants to show to President Trump that talks are in progress, that he is ready to negotiate some kind of a very distant ceasefire peace deal or whatever, but he's not eager to cut any kind of deals. His main idea is to drag his feet and our feet into never-ending talks and to get more incremental gains on the ground. Because, look, he still has a lot of cannon fodder. And the good news is that Russian economy is nosediving. The thing is that it's going to take another year and a half for the Russian economy to be insolvent. But they still have enough financial resources and they still have enough cash to finance its war chest. Another good news is actually that their budgetary revenues is down 17%. I mean, those that come from oil and gas. But once again, I want to be very clear that it's not the bottom of the Russian, I would say, treasure. They still have some cash to finance this war of attrition. And the main idea is whether the sanctions that have been imposed by the European Union, I really commend the EU decision, an unanimous actually decision to pass an 18th sanction package, whether these sanctions will be really efficient. And it's all about the enforcement of sanctions. Because we have a pile of sanctions, a huge one, but it's all about whether we can really deliver on these kind of sanctions and to limit the cash flow that designated war criminal Putin is getting to finance its war.
Right. Okay. So, look, your hopes are on pressure, on sanctions, and not at all on these talks in Istanbul, which you consider to be window dressing. Now, let's look at what's going on in Kyiv. Now, Arseny, we've seen the protests now against the new legislation, which ends the independence of those two anti-corruption agencies. It has caused a reaction in various parts of the world, including in Europe. The president of the European Commission has criticised this. The leaders in Germany have criticised this and said this could cost Ukraine dearly. What are your thoughts on all of that? How worried should we be about the loss of control over corruption in this way?
Well, I want to be very clear about all the things that you've just mentioned. Let me start with the message that, look, all these anti-corruption agencies and watchdogs that have been established in 2015, they were established by my government.
Yeah.
So National Anti-Corruption Bureau, Special Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, a National Anti-Corruption Preventive Agency, and even judicial reform, which established a special anti-corruption court, they were all implemented on my watch and on the watch of my political faction. So whether I support the bill that had been passed by the House yesterday, no, I don't. But on the flip side, and I believe it was a mistake, but on the flip side, I am trying to find some kind of positive news against the backdrop what's happened in Kyiv. First, we have really vibrant civil society. We have an amazing young generation. These people will never tolerate corruption. The second one is that both NABU, which is National Anti-Corruption Bureau, and Special Prosecutor's Office, they still exist. And they have a very strong powers in order to eradicate corruption. The third issue is that due to the fact that the House decided actually to grant an additional powers to Attorney General, so it's up to the Attorney General to lead this fight in the war against corruption.
Yeah, but Arseny, let me put this to you. I mean, we still have a situation where an official close to President Zelensky can take a hand, can interfere in the work of the bodies that are working against corruption. Now, the reason, as you know better than me, the reason that has worried leaders in Europe is that Ukraine has had a problem of corruption. It had to be seen to be fighting the problem of corruption. And that mission is central to Ukraine's ambition of joining the European Union. From that point of view, is this not a step backwards?
Well, there is just no way that either the president or the government will back down on our fight against corruption.
Why the process then?
This is the key impediment on our road to the European Union.
Yes.
So that's it's simple as it is. Even more, this brings some kind of an additional pretext to those who want to abandon Ukraine.
Yeah.
So I want to reiterate once again, it's up to the president and to the Attorney General to show whether these kind of amendments will lead to a righteous fight against corruption, or whether this is a kind of an action to monopolize power and to make a kind of cover-up for those who committed corruption crimes. President Zelensky wants to be re-elected. An attorney general, he has quite good record in fighting against corruption. For example, he was a lead investigator in the criminal case against the pro-Russian president Yanukovych.
Yes.
So it's up to them to decide, and it's up to the Ukrainian people to tell to everyone. That's what we've done in 2014. We will never tolerate corruption.
Okay, it is.
We will fight for justice.
I hear you. It is up to them to show that corruption is not creeping back, is not again regaining ground. But just in a word, it's made that task a little harder, hasn't it?
Well, it depends. Once again, I want to reiterate once again. I believe it was a mistake. Okay, but we are living in this realpolitik. So we still have the chance. To correct this mistake.
Okay.
With the clear-cut actions.
All right.
Clear deliverable.
Okay, Arseny, thanks so much for your thoughts on all of these matters. Arseny Yatseniuk, the former Prime Minister of Ukraine there.